guys, what is up? My name is Jess. If you're new here, welcome to Roots Refuge Farm. I'm on my front porch right now, and I just got done editing the vlog that you are about to watch, and it's nice and lovely and full of gardening goodness and surprises. But first, I wanted to make an announcement. So if you've been here very long, you know that my dear friend Jill in Arkansas, where I used to live, bought my old farm. Before that happened, before we moved to South Carolina and Jill moved into the original Roots Refuge Farm and made it the new Whispering Willow Farm, she and I worked together and developed a gardening course. It has 18 videos, a bunch of PDFs, 6 podcast episodes that are about 45 minutes long each of Jill and I conversing. And it is a course that is chock full of inspiration and information for the new gardener. So if you're struggling with your garden this year and you want to know why, or maybe you didn't get to do as much in the garden as you'd hoped, or your garden's already wrapped up, it's August, it's getting hot, and you want to continue on with your learning in gardening, or if you want to give it as a gift to someone, we have decided that since our lives have changed so much in the moving and we film this at our old living situations, we decided we're going to go ahead and retire this course. It's still great. It's still full of amazing information. It was still a very special thing to do with one of my dearest friends making this, and we wanted to make it available as a last chance to you at a deep discount for $49. It'll be available for the month of August. Once you sign up, you will have access to it. We're just going to be closing enrollment, but we will continue to host the information for the people who have purchased the course in the past. But yeah, if you want in on that, we'll put a link down below for the month of August. And just a little note, if you were one of the first people that went through the course with the emails, we actually sent an email blast out a little while ago giving people information to get into the course on Teachable. But if you're having issues with that, or for some reason you didn't get it, please email the shop at rootsandrefuge.com and we'll be able to look up your registration and get you that access. But otherwise, if you're interested in purchasing it, link down below, check it out. I'll also link Jill's channel so you can check her out because she's awesome. All right, let's watch the vlog. Y'all, the spring chicks from Murray McMurray Hatchery are looking less like chicks and more like chickens. So technically these are all still pullets since they haven't started laying yet, but I think we're probably getting fairly close to laying. Katie's joining us.
Slippers.
Yeah, and I sure do like this greenhouse and this garden.
Yeah, but I do really like the barn.
You like the barn?
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a nice backdrop to the greenhouse and the garden, huh?
What's that? There.
What are you saying?
I see an animal with the white tip of tail.
Oh, that's the little calf.
When did we get it?
That's one of the Devons. Benjamin is pointing out that little calf over there, which makes me want to get his eyes checked a little bit, but that's a little heifer. Yeah, I don't think you guys can see well from here, but the little heifer is going up to the mom. So our Devons, we got to kind of develop as an all-purpose homestead breed, because American milking Devons are supposed to be like a good dual-purpose cow. They're meaty enough to keep for beef, and they also can be kept for milk. My friends the Rhodes, that's what their bull is, and so I know that it makes a good Jersey cross. You can breed them to a Jersey with no risk of damaging your Jersey. Jerseys are smaller cows, so you can't breed them to just anything because you can have problems with birthing. My thought was with the Devons is that eventually I'd like to breed them for seed stock that we can sell like breeding sets to people. So of course we'll have to bring in other genetics over time in order to be able to do that. And I have 2 little heifers now, and Ben was just pointing out one of them, and she's really pretty. She's got like white socks and a little white tail, and when we wean her, I'm going to halter break her. Oh, Bo's hanging out by the fence. Hallie, our Jersey calf, is in her first hard heat right now. She's 6 months old. Of course, she's way too young to breed, but he's been staying kind of close because of that. There's the little flashy heifer right there. White tail, white socks, and she's got a white heart on her forehead. Oh man, she's gonna run over here. So my plan for her is when we wean her, I'm gonna put my heifers Hallelujah and then the 2 Devon Heifers over in the little pasture across the pond. And we're gonna just handle them a lot. Of course, Hallie we've been handling a lot because we go out and milk her mom every day. So we've been in a lot of proximity, but that little calf is wild. But I wanna put a halter on her and teach her to be tame and handled. And my thought is with those 2 heifers, we'll probably artificially inseminate them. So I'm thinking with her, if we artificially inseminate her, we can get sexed Devon semen, and that way I can bring in just some new blood. I can get a heifer calf, and I would like to handle her enough to be able to milk her and just see what it's like. Just see if they are indeed pure Devons, are indeed like a solid multi-purpose homestead breed. Because my hope is that like 5 years down the road, whenever we're like really working towards having our learning center, the bloodlines that I'm working on now will be solid enough, and my herds will be solid enough that when we start the learning center, this will be the seed stock for that. What do you say?
Why won't this door open?
Why won't the door? Oh, that door? Because it's locked. It doesn't need to open. Y'all, Benjamin used we have this little thing that suctions to pull the venom out when you get stung by something. And Benjamin was playing with it. Let me see. So he's got a little circle on his face, a little bruise. I'm gonna walk backwards so that I'm not squinting in the sun. I talk a lot about our learning center and when we do that. And I think if you've been here with us for very long, you've probably heard more of the fullness of that. But this is not that. This property, I have no intentions of being a public property. It's honestly not big enough. When we had our event, our first Wilder Still event in May, we had about 100 people out here, and that is really what this comfortably hosts while still being a working farm. You know, maybe once we have our shop built and the pavilion and all that stuff, we could have more, but just for cars and parking, it's hard. It would be hard to have a lot more people than that. And when we open up our learning center and have events there, I mean, I anticipate there being thousands of people there, just based on what we've seen so far turn up for like book signings and stuff like that. So this is just our home, which right now has employees and is our business also. But my hope is to kind of separate those two, and just have like our home, our farm that feeds our family, and then the big farm, like the actual big Roots and Refuge Farm, is going to be a larger place that is a working farm, but that people can come visit, has business hours. When you're passing through, you can come visit. We probably get 100 requests a month of people passing through and wanting to come here. And that's without us advertising that it's open. And obviously, we're not really able to do that because we would never get anything else done. But my hope is to have a place that if people are passing through, they can pop in. They don't have to get permission. They can just come. It can be open. They can come have tours, and then also come take classes, come do internships. So I really imagine my farm in Arkansas kind of being the seed to that. And right now, I kind of imagine this being a plant that we're growing to collect the seeds from that will then multiply into that later. So when we're getting these bloodlines, we're getting these Devons, and we're starting to work on old spots and trying to breed like a pig breed, the mix between the old spot and the Mangalitsa, and the different things we're doing now and doing permaculture on this scale and learning composting and learning soil remediation and all of these things. I imagine this, that we're growing a crop to collect the seeds from to later be able to multiply and share with the world. That's how I see it. And that is ultimately why I want to milk that little Devon calf. She needs a name. She's really pretty. I wish I could get a better picture of her. But yeah, she's super pretty and she needs a good name. What's a good name that has a legacy feel to it? So something that has to do with that. Like think of like kind of the first fruits, like she's the first of this stock. So by handling her and milking her and seeing, is this an idea that we can carry? Is this really going to be a solid idea for this to be a good multi-purpose homestead breed? Because I'm imagining years down the road, people coming to us and getting a bull and a couple of cows, that becomes the seed stock for their homestead. So help me name this little girl. My sunflower Steve flowers are all branching and doing their secondary flowers while the original ones are drying out. What kind of beetles are those?
I don't know, we call them June bugs, I think.
But they're all green.
My mom used to tie some fishing line to them. Like flying around.
Yeah, that sunflower and this one has those beetles on them. I haven't seen them on anybody else. I just left them because, you know, there's enough room for everybody.
Flowers.
Those assassin bugs?
I don't know what they are.
Yeah, those are all over the tomatoes too. Nice squash.
There's a bunch of them. This is a survival crop.
Survival crop, yeah. What'd you get?
I got it.
What is that?
It has a bug in it.
It has a bug on it? Oh, man.
You can cut out that part.
Good plan.
But it's still ripe.
Yep, nice. So yeah, the tromboncino squash are nice. So, Will, are we about to pull a bunch of stuff out?
You tell me.
Oh, why is that decision so hard to make?
I just work here.
I think
Regular beans are still pumping like crazy.
They're good to stay. The tomatoes are all setting nice fruit now that we've had kind of a cool down.
I know.
Well,
The problem with these kiku melons is they go from ripe to rotten in like 3 seconds. Yeah, go around there and see. You almost have to pick them off. Like with the kajaris, you can wait till they fall off.
Yeah.
But with these,
Mommy, it's grass.
by the time they're falling off, they're usually like rotting out.
Same with the ones on the other side too. They're really good.
Those white leopard ones? Yeah, that's white leopard is what that one's called. Or snow leopard, snow leopard.
Yeah, see they go like this. They're ripe and then all of a sudden
Yeah, they're rotted out.
beating them from the bottom.
So these right here, this big mound that has taken over the walkway, those are called chicken and dumpling peas, which is an heirloom that Will got seeds for from Dr. Kibler. And Will, will you come tell the story of the chicken and dumplings? We were texting about this yesterday.
Yeah, he texted me, said they came from John Wheeler in Pomeria, South Carolina. He said he was about his age. I don't really know much more about him, but a lot of this stuff probably came from the Pomeria nursery, which was around like 1840 to 1878 or so.
Very cool.
So a lot of it probably came from there.
Yeah.
Will Summer was that guy's name. Did I say that?
No, Will Summer.
Will Summer.
And these were developed here in this area. And I pulled one of the pods off yesterday and shucked it. I'm not gonna put my feet down in there because I don't have boots on and there's no telling. All right, let's take a look at these chicken and dumplings peas. Now, I sent Will a picture of these yesterday because I had shucked one of them. And I think what we're gonna do, because these did so well, is instead of harvesting them all at this stage, which this is about where you want to harvest them to eat them fresh. Yeah, Will was just saying these peas almost went extinct. That's so cool, and they're really pretty. And I'm thinking I'm gonna let them dry a little bit more, and we are gonna harvest these and then just turn around and replant them right now to get a bigger harvest in fall. Some of the pods on here are already dry enough to do that. This is where you want to harvest them to eat them. And so you would just shuck them and cook them right away. Or you can shuck them dry to save. And you can eat them later. From dry, you would just soak them and then cook them. But I'm thinking as we tear out this stuff, we're going to have a lot of places that we can replant these things and then harvest again in the fall. So since we're putting in the raised bed garden, that's where I'm going to plant my fall crops and some of the space that I have in the high tunnel. I'm going to plant cabbages, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli. We're about to start seeds for today's August 1st, so we're going to start seeds for that like now, here in the next couple of days. And then I'll plant those out like 8 weeks from now. So October 1st. I cannot believe 8 weeks from now is October 1st. Where did this year go? So I have waxed poetic many times. Oh, something just went down the back of my shirt. I love cherry tomatoes too, and these are producing really well. I'm actually surprised at how good these cherry tomatoes look.
That's what I always grow.
I ate my weight in cherry tomatoes out here yesterday, and because it's so hot, they taste amazing.
I think that's what they are.
Which one is it?
Super Sweet 101.
Oh yeah, I think that's correct.
This one's the spoon.
There's also the Gardener's Sweetheart somewhere over here, and they're real heart-shaped. But they haven't been producing as much.
Chardonnay ones, right?
Yeah, those yellow ones are the Napa Chardonnay, and then the orange ones are Torringina, which is a hybrid. There's more Torringina down that way.
I like the super sweet.
Here's the Gardener's Sweetheart right here, I think. And then this is the Indigo Kumquat, which I was not a big fan of this one. Of course, these plants aren't super healthy, so maybe I should give it another try. But it just didn't have, it's got tough skin and not a lot of flavor.
I tasted that one before, and it's not very good because the skin's so tight on it. There's not much juice in
the skin's so tight on it, there's not much juice. That is a great tomato review, Benjamin. Thank you for sharing that with us. What about that one? What's your review on this one? Torringina.
It is just, it has tough skin.
You think that one has tough skin? I didn't think so.
Then you're going to have seed companies calling you now.
That doesn't
Get you to advertise their tomatoes.
Ben said, he said the skin was too tight, so it didn't have much juice. Pretty accurate. I thought the Torringina was pretty good. But you got to get the really dark orange ones. That's when they're the best. When they're still kind of light, they're not as good. Like, try this one.
I found one.
You found one?
But
Yeah, that one's much better. They got to be good and right. That one that you're eating right now, that yellow one, is called Napa Chardonnay. That's Wild Boar Farms. That's one of my favorite ones. And if you get the really yellow ones, they're really good. Here's one right here. Let me see. Okay. That's good. Yeah, those Armenians I feel like are a good production crop too, just so you get so much food. And here, like, look at that massive one that is gotten so big. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So those, because you know those are melons, not cucumbers. No. Yeah, those are melons. And so when they get like this, the thing is they don't taste like much as a melon, but if you cut this open now, it's more like a melon. But you can scoop that flesh out and like make popsicles with it, or just eat it like a melon. You could probably make some sort of cold soup or something. So if you wanted, each one of those fruits could potentially be, 4 or 5 pounds.
I'm gonna cut it.
You can
do you want it?
Yeah.
I was gonna just keep it for seed. But
we could keep it for seed. That's fine.
I guess well, it's starting to split anyway, so I guess you don't have to.
It's probably, the seed's probably ready at this point. They're big enough.
Ain't like good. How much does that weigh, Ben? Well, hold it and see.
You want to hold it?
heavy.
Yeah, heavy. It weighs heavy.
So we're in August now. The August garden has my heart like no other garden because, like, she's wild and doesn't listen to nobody.
Yeah. Very wild.
I just love it.
You gotta walk through.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. There's another big one on the ground. A couple of them. Look at this. The Armenians are intertwined with the Tromboncino.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that baby Tromboncino right there. The August garden does what she wants.
August garden don't care.
I feel like you could feed an army with Tromboncino.
That's an amazing crop.
Like, look at this. And they're very resistant to squash bugs. Like, even in Arkansas where I could hardly grow squash, I could grow these.
They're resistant to grass. I mean, look at the leaves just coming right up and competing with it. Yeah, that's an amazing. That's like the best investment you can have. Like a $3 pack of seeds, and you get.
Like, we've probably harvested well over 100 pounds of food easily off of a plant here.
Off one, yeah, it will be definitely over 100. That's probably close to 100.
Are you ready for the fall garden?
What's that?
Carrots, cabbage, kale. You could dinosaur in the fall garden. Do you remember when you would be the garden dinosaur?
Yeah.
Ben used to walk through the garden and just have tiny front arms and then just bite things off of plants. So here, this line of sunflowers we planted because this is where most of the soil here was not contaminated, but we had dug a trench out and put the compost we'd bought in the trench and planted beans. Of course, the compost we put in there was part of the soil we got that was contaminated. So we put the sunflowers in, hopefully to pull some contaminants. They're doing okay. The beans died, but this is doing okay. So as you can see, Like the Armenians, though they are still producing, and there are areas of these that are still producing fresh fruits. The plant itself is getting pretty, you know, sick. It's hot. It's struggling. And I've held off as long as I can. I've been just like, well, let's give it a few more days. Let's give it another week. But if we're going to plant a second wave of stuff to harvest in the fall, we got to tear these things out. It is hard tearing out things that are producing. Look at this wild beauty. I love it. See you later. So Will and I were just discussing our sweet potato C here, which is quite the weedy wonder. And I just was looking. My phone photo roll is my garden journal. And what I do when I'm trying to figure out like how long something's been planted, I go back and find the earliest photo of it. So when we plant things, I usually try to take a photo of them the day we plant them. So it'll be like a marker, and then it has the date attached to it.
Almost like you don't have a YouTube channel.
Well, sometimes I forget to put things in videos, but if I have it on my phone, then I've got it. That means I just looked it up. The earliest photo I have of these sweet potatoes is May 12th, and I just looked it up, and that's 81 days. They've been in the ground 81 days. So sweet potatoes take about 120, so they're not ready yet. We were discussing what we're going to do differently next year, which is to be more cautious in putting some barriers down in the walkway and just mulching very, very heavily. We didn't mulch heavily enough, and so that's why we're dealing with weeds. I think the problem is it gets to the point, and this is the August garden, is that your plants have spilled over so much that if you don't have a barrier in your walkways, you can't maintain it, because you obviously can't come through and weed eat, or you'll damage your plants also. So that's kind of what's going on here. And this is normal gardening, guys. It's not meticulous. It's not super pretty, but I guarantee that a lot of people watching this video right now have got this going on in their garden, so it's normal. Will just said, but there's food hiding everywhere. And can we just normalize the weedy and wayward garden late season? I mean, I admire you if your garden is meticulous in August. I don't understand you, but I do admire you, and you know, gold star to you. I'm over here knowing that if I walk in the garden in sandals, I might get bit by a snake, but you know, whatever. Did you eat it?
No, it was just already split.
Ooh, give me some. Split melons are garden treats, as long as they're not full of bugs.
These seeds might be a cross between that Odell and this.
He's a little baby.
Is that how it works?
What?
It would cross between that sitting over there, the Odell?
No, it should. If it crossed, it wouldn't be. This fruit wouldn't be the cross. These seeds would be the cross.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you save the seeds.
Yeah, if you save the seeds, it could be a cross. What do you think? Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
When my YouTube channel was first growing.
Good watermelon.
Watermelon's my favorite. It tastes like summertime.
Yeah. You spell out the seeds, you eat them.
I don't eat them. I throw them on the ground so I can get watermelons again. Surprise watermelons. I throw so much food on the ground in my garden. Like, pull off a split tomato, throw it on the ground. My goal is years from now that I can just come harvest lots of food off of plants I didn't plant.
You're an old lady. You don't have to plant anything.
Yeah, when my garden tours first started taking off, I did this one and I stopped and I ate a melon like this, made a mess myself. And that's when people knew that they had found the place they needed. We were not gardening meticulously. We were busting open food and eating it with our bare hands.
That's the best way to do it.
Why do it any other way? I just need to know.
It's a lot of work.
If you guys have not either busted open a melon, bit plumb into like a straight tomato, if you've not had juice from your garden running down your neck yet this year, this is your permission. I need you to go do that. I don't care. I don't care if you find it weird. You go out to that garden, you pull the tomato off, and yes, you could cut it up nicely, but I want you to just bite it like an animal. And find the joy that's it. This brings me so much joy right now.
Yeah.
Are you joyful?
Yeah, it's magnificent.
Oh, thank you.
Cut you off a heart.
Yeah.
You just eat it off a plant. I'm like, yeah, that's what the food is.
What's even the
Just
point of
grows off
dealing
the
with the
plant.
bugs and not spraying poison on your garden if you're not going to eat it like an animal?
For real.
The only thing Bear really
See
usually,
that
yeah,
nipple?
he like,
You don't like it?
he's saying it's not for me. That's what I've told my kids to say if I try to give them or someone gives them food they don't like. I'm like, don't insult what people like. Don't be like, ooh, that's gross, because then you're insulting. Just say, no, thank you, it's not for me. So that's what Bear just said to that watermelon. He does like carrots. He'll dig carrots up and eat them. That's the only thing in the garden he's ever messed with was carrots. So here are the tomatoes from suckers. So we cut these suckers off of the front tomato plants, rooted them in water, and then we'll put them in these pots. And look at them. Look at those healthy little plants. All right, so I wanted to show Will. Some of the peppers are finally starting to really produce. And this one right here, this Leesville. Yeah. Oh, it's got a little ugly spot on it, so just eat around that.
Yeah. There's a lot of them over there, too.
Yeah. Try that.
That one's a little soft. It's supposed to be crispy.
It's got thick skin.
Tastes good. I like crispy.
You like crispy peppers? I like it. It's juicy. That one might be a little soft. A little too ripe. It smells so good. These seeds are from Baker Creek, and I had attempted to grow this last year, but they didn't get ripe before I left, so Jill probably had some. So good.
You're supposed to eat them when they're red?
You could eat it green. The flavors of peppers, you can pick any peppers in any state, but the flavor's going to be better when they're riper, and they'll be crispier when they're unripe. You liked it green? Mm-hmm. I like it red.
It's crispy. That is sweeter, though. Mm-hmm. This one's crispy.
It's the same thing with like jalapenos. We typically pick those green and unripe and they're crisper, but you can wait till they turn red and they're hotter with a deeper flavor, but they're softer.
You let them dehydrate, right?
No, those are corbachis.
Yeah,
Look at those.
Oh, they're really good.
Those are good frying peppers.
Just fry them and...
Yeah, like saute them, some eggs. So good. Ajvarsky, I haven't eaten one of those because I think they're hot and I was afraid.
I think those are stuffing peppers. I don't think they're hot.
I should just Google it.
They're over there. For sure. That's in like a Eastern European pepper.
I could Google it or you could just bite it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bite it.
No, those are hot. That's Sugar Rush Peach. And they are super tropical. Huh?
Why do they call it Sugar Rush Peach? That's such a...
They taste tropical.
And they're spicy?
Yeah, they're real spicy. I ate one yesterday and I almost cried. Do you like spicy? Like, how spicy do you like?
I'm not gonna go into like a pepper eating competition, but...
Okay, Ajvarsky. Test by Will, Uncle Kunkel.
Uncle Kunkel. Honeybee Hollow Gardens.
Got a little dirt on there for the gut health?
Mm-hmm. A little spicy. It's good though. It's definitely a little spicy.
You wanna follow it with a sugar rush?
It's definitely real spicy. This is spicy too?
Yeah.
Oh.
You need some milk. The ducks will eat it.
Do you have any milk, Jess?
I probably got a little bit of
This
it.
is freaking spicy.
That's why I didn't bite it. That was a weenie bite.
I already got this in my mouth. This is workplace abuse. They're both really good, but
I bit
this one's spicy.
a Sugar Rush Peach one time on a garden tour. The first time I grew it, I was like, I'm going to try this. I bit the whole thing down to the stem, no. And I got hiccups so bad, I almost threw up. A round of applause for Uncle Kunkel for being so brave.
I need some milk.
Well, we do have some. Will's choking and I'm curious. Nope. No, I'm not gonna feel that burn all the way down.
It's got a good flavor, but...
Yeah, if you like hot peppers, this Ajvarsky, this probably make a really good hot sauce because it's got such good flavor.
Yeah. I thought they were like a stuffing pepper, but... Ooh, that's hot. I'm going to get milk.
Well, I lost Will. He went to the house for milk. He took a pretty good bite of those. That was pretty spicy. I don't like super spicy peppers. I will make hot sauce with them, and I will mix them with fruits to make jam. And I don't mind a little bit of heat in like a big batch of salsa, you know, a couple of hot peppers in a big batch of salsa, and then maybe mixed with like some jalapenos or something more mild for more pepper flavor without heat. My friend Michael was telling me the other day, he's like, I got some Reapers growing if you want some. I was like, I'm good, don't need that. I don't grow any super hots in my garden just because we do eat from it so much, and I don't ever want my kids to get something that's gonna hurt them, but I know some people who love them. Anyway, thank you guys for spending this lovely August morning in my garden with me. I bless you. Until next time.